Hi, you guys. I think I am live. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since I've entered this live, but creating a character for your fears. Let's talk about this. And the reason I want to talk about this is because I go on really long walks, and on this walk, I like to be in a good mood. I like to, be present in what I am experiencing as I go throughout this walk. So sometimes on my walk, I don't feel like I'm present enough. And this takes a little bit of awareness that I'm not, that you're not present in what it is that you are doing. So when that happens, usually it's because that energy is taken up by things like things I'm worried about for the future, things I'm anxious about the past. And of course, it does not feel good. So I was like, oh, I hate how I feel. I do not enjoy being on my amazing walk and feeling just not my absolute best because I create when I feel my absolute best. And that's one reason I love going on walks. Um, but, anyways, I ask these questions because usually I end up finding the answer in either a book or just something like a video I come across. So I love asking questions like this out to the universe, being like, tell me, why do I feel like this? What is within me that I can work on and, quote unquote, fix? But I come across this book and it's just on my bookshelf and I flip to the page and I mean, I think this was the third quote that I ran into, but usually if I ask a question and I need to hear an answer, I will look, pick up a book and somehow, some way the answer is there. So that's just something fun. But this book right here, this quote, and I'm going to read it to you. It's from this book called Maktab from the same guy who wrote The Alchemist. And I'll have it linked down below so that you can read it. I highly recommend, again, if you need answers or you need questions or you have questions and you are searching for those more spiritual, deeper answers, then I highly recommend this book. But anyways, I've been talking a lot. The master says, the masters of old used to create characters to help their disciples, their people, deal with the darker side of their personality. Many stories about the creation of such characters become later. Oh gosh, I thought I'd be a good reading person because oh my gosh, I'm getting distracted again, but only because I want to share with you that I am working on launching my book club very soon. School book club, Nav's book club, my book club, and we are going to start with one of my favorite all-time books. I mean, it's not one of my all favorite time books, but I feel like it's a classic. And if you're in this business entrepreneurial world, you've either read this book or maybe you've been seeing this book around you, but it is Think and Grow Rich. And I want to start with this book so that we can get into the right energies to start attracting money to ourselves. So that is why I chose Think and Grow Rich. But going back to this, why did I bring that up? I brought that up because this book club that I'm launching soon, yeah, we're going to be starting with Think and Grow Rich. And then we are going to just do all of the quote unquote, what I like to call the money making activities. And I want to be there to basically hold you accountable and make sure we get work done. And a lot of that work goes into building habits. So that's why, I love books, I love reading because they help me develop that habit of mine, which is, or help me develop or get in the habit of developing habits. Get in the habit of developing habits. Yeah, so I can start doing things on a more consistent basis. And if you are looking to also get into your habit building systems, then read for 30 minutes a day, read for 10 minutes a day, just get into the habit of reading. So that's why I have a book club and I think you should come join. But I'm going to start this quote again. This is practice for my book club. The master says, the masters of old used to create characters to help their people deal with the darker side of their personality. Many stories about the creation of such characters later become famous fairy tales. The process is a simple one. You just have to place all of your anxieties, fears, and disappointments in an invisible being who stands on your left side. He acts as the villain in your life, always suggesting ideas you would prefer not to have, but end up having. So once you have created such a character, it becomes easier to ignore his advice or her advice. This is extremely simple, which is why it works so well. You guys, when I read this, I'm like, yes, I that would help me so much. So it's about creating this character and giving this character everything. And I mean, okay, not everything, but all of those emotions that you don't want to hold within you anymore. Emotions that we have built up, from our childhood, from middle school, from high school, from elementary school, all the way up to who we are now as adults. We pick up these emotions and these feelings that are not really ours to hold anymore. So it's not fair if you operate and you do things based on these emotions, letting the emotions sort of guide where you need to go. And if those emotions are not good feeling emotions, emotions that just deserve the world, like joy and happiness and peace and all that good feeling stuff. If you want to experience more of that, then it's important that you figure out why these quote unquote not so good feeling emotions, why they don't feel so good. So like as starting this conversation, starting to ask yourself, okay, why do I not feel good right now? What is this emotion telling me? What do I need to hear or learn from this emotion? Oftentimes, these emotions are not telling us the full picture. They are not telling us the full story of what it is that we need to hear. So, as much as I love, working through my emotions, at the same time, there's certain emotions that I'm like, dude, get out of here. This is not me anymore. I don't, why am I feeling like this? This clearly does not belong to me. This feeling does not belong to me. So why am I still holding on to it? And asking questions like that sort of help you get closer to the answer. And that answer, I feel like, was just in that quote, is creating this character. And this character, oh, how cute is my little pink mug? Creating this character and seeing this character. So I want to give you 3 steps actually to creating this character and what you need to do. I actually wrote it down. Number 1, build out this character. Number 2, nurture this character. And number 3, love this character. So, following, from this book, first we want to build this character. So, I want you, you can literally do this practice, this little meditation with me, this visualization with me right now if you want. But seeing a character, maybe it's just a black shadow, and you can refer to this as your shadow, but seeing this character and seeing this character embody all of your fears, all of the shame that you hold within you, the guilt, the things that don't necessarily feel so good. I want you to envision this character embodying all of these bad feeling emotions that you hold within you. And what I want you to do next is just be in that energy, sort of visualize this. This is going to be a little weird, but visualize this fear, this anxiety, this darkness within you. And we we don't want to get rid of it because we hate it, because we don't want it here anymore. We want to get rid of it so that we can start a conversation with it. So we can start asking it questions and, learning from it. View this practice in that way. You removing your shadows. This can scare a lot of people, and that's why a lot of people, a lot of us are afraid to really dive deeper into some of these things, why certain things don't feel so good. What are these shadows? What are these things telling us? What can we learn from our guilt? Why, after so many years, are we still holding on to guilt from something that happened years and years ago? Why do we still operate from this guilt? And for a lot of us, we are not even aware that we're operating from this guilt, because you don't know how other people operate based on their emotions and their feelings. So you don't really have a blueprint to how to guide these emotions. And that is not your fault. That is no one's fault. But it, it's begging us to start questioning these things. Unless you want to, let guilt drive how you operate in this world, then go ahead, go do that. Okay. I give you full permission to go do that. But if you no longer, you see yourself going back to this guiltful, and I'm using guilt as just an example. When I say guilt, I want you to embody all of the emotions that are in the quote unquote not so good feeling emotions, like anxiety, shame, guilt. Um, what else? There's so many. There's an abundance of bad feeling emotions. And so we want to first build this character, see this character embodying all of these things that we want to talk to and we want to learn from. And then, this is the hard part, we are going to nurture this being. We are going to love this being. And again, yes, you can do this right now. You can make this a part of your daily habit, which is doing this visualization with this new character that you have built. Or you can, do it now, and yeah, you can make it part of your daily practice, or something that you do just once, and then I recommend you make it part of your daily practice until you feel aligned with that dark side of you, the dark shadows. Um, so daily practice. Send this being, this new character you have created, love. Talk to it in your mind's eye. Talk to this character. Ask it questions. One question I love starting with is, thank you for allowing me this space to talk to you. Thank you for being here with me. The reason I had to sort of separate you from myself is so that I can learn from you. So I hope you are open to learning and growing together. So I would love to know, with so much love, so much passion, why do you feel this way within my body? And for most of us, we can feel our emotions very deeply in our bodies. That is definitely me. If I'm feeling something, instantly it's a feeling in the body, and I'm able to capture it. I'm able to identify with it and, work through that. However, for a lot of us, especially me, I used to not know that I can control these sort of things within myself. When I didn't know that, that's when I was the most anxious in my life. That is when I was making the most impulsive decisions and just, going based upon what other people had sort of created for me, rather than tuning in, going within, and listening to what my body has to say, what my emotions, what my life path journey is on this planet. Okay, we can talk about this for days, and I would love to keep talking about this for days. And we sort of do talk about this for days, but in the chat, I'm gonna put, oh gosh, I'm gonna, I meant to write school.com/hi, but I accidentally put school.com or hi.com/school. So you can see where I'm at. So school.com/hi, that is my free community. If you're not in there already, come join us. Oh, I forgot I can have it on the screen here as well. Go join. That is where it's the best hangout spot on School, okay? So come join us if you're building a community on Skool, or if you are new to all of this. That is the community you need to join. And in there, these are the conversations that we are having. We are talking about our dark shadows and things that we don't want to talk about, and doing it in a loving way where we have other people around us, people who are also on the same journey. One thing I love about this high school community is that everyone who's in there seems to have a deep desire to really go within and focus on the things and work through the things that we sort of did not get a chance to work through in real school. So that's why I've also named this high school, because it's sort of like going back to high school, but relearning, reprogramming the things that we were not taught how to do because no one taught us. And maybe we were not meant to learn until now. Maybe now is the right time. Again, everything happens in divine timing. So if you are, you know, just now realizing like, wow, there's so much to learn going within, and you are, just becoming aware of these feelings and facts. It's an amazing thing. It means you chose to be awake and alive in this moment of history, in this moment of all realities and dimensions. It's a beautiful thing that you chose to be here. And what I've learned is that we are all just here to grow and expand and be guided by what our beautiful soul has already laid out in front of us. How can we just make this journey a more enjoyable, relaxing, creative, fun? How can the journey be a lot more creative and fun rather than stressful? We can give all of our stress to this character that we have now built. I hope I, by the way, answered or went through the 3: build it, nurture it, love it. I want to go back to that and talk about, once you've built this character, don't forget to nurture it. Don't forget to also see it. So this is an important thing I forgot to mention. Let's say you see your character and it is filled with rage, it is filled with hate. Maybe hate towards a parent, maybe hate towards a sibling, maybe hate towards a friend. If you see this character embodying all this hate for whatever it may be, feel that. It's painful. So only do this if you are ready to truly awaken that fire within you, have your sort of rising phoenix moment. If you are truly ready to do that, then do this, because you are going to start feeling things. New pathways are going to be laid out in front of you, new opportunities, new ways to be within this new energies that you are working through. So just be ready, feel this pain. Once you've felt this pain, here's the best part: you get to end it. It's as simple as that. You get to feel it all the way through, and then you get to say, you get to alchemize it. I think that should have been the last step, actually. Build it, nurture it, alchemize it. You get to alchemize this energy into passion. Sorry, I'm writing at the same time because I don't want to forget alchemize. I'm also thinking about doing a challenge inside of my book club, and I'm thinking of calling it the Book Alchemy Challenge. Let me know if that resonates or is something that you would join and participate in. But yeah, I will also link my book club, by the way. Whenever you're watching this, I'm probably running a challenge, some sort of reading challenge. So Book Alchemy Challenge, come join. And that is the last step of this character, is alchemizing it, alchemizing that energy. So if you see rage, if you see hate, turning those emotions into good things that you want to experience and good things that you want to be in this world, like passion. Maybe you would just want to be a human being that's filled with passion. Passion towards your work, passion towards what you do, passion towards yourself. It can still be a fire. This is another beautiful thing. we can view both rage and hatred and shame and guilt as fire, but we can also view it as passion, as courage, as momentum, as fuel for all the good things we want to create and bring into our reality. So it gets to feel good, you guys. It really does. And that's where I want to leave it. I hope that you get a chance to grab this book. I will have it linked below alongside all of my other favorite books. But Think and Grow Rich is the first book we will be starting in my book club, and we are going to alchemize those words into money. That is what, rather than money, more wealth, more being more wealth conscious, which is money, yes. So all that stuff. Okay. This was the awkward moment when I cannot find the end button. Okay, bye.